I just want to talk about something that is very, very important to me. And I'm sure you guys already know because I've made small videos about it before. I want to make more in-depth videos about circumcision, but there's just so much information that I'm not sure how to break it up because there's the fact that there's the side effects of circumcision. There's the all of the reasons not to circumcise your child, regardless of gender. And it just really, really hurts when I see this happening. And unfortunately, the only way I can say it is that someone close to me, I was hoping and praying that they were going to have a girl so that I wouldn't have to know about this. But they are having a boy, and of course, they're going to circumcise him. And when I woke up today, I started crying because, and I almost couldn't sleep last night. I literally had to keep praying and being like, please help me just not think about this, because the more I think about it, the more sad I'm gonna get. And I finally got to sleep last night, but when I woke up today, I was just so depressed about the thought of, changing this baby's diaper and seeing that would be traumatizing. And I hate to say it like that, but it's like, why would you want to see a baby in pain? Why would you want to see that happening to a baby? And people through the Bloodstained Men group, they actually supported me in my thinking, and they were like, you shouldn't change that baby's diaper because you know that it's going to disturb you, and you know that it's going to be traumatizing. And I was like, you're right. And I never really even thought about it because, like, it's just like something you do, when you're around a baby and you want to help out, or you're babysitting, you change their diaper. But and I actually, the past couple days, I put together a giant info pack of information just about circumcision care. So if you circumcise your baby, what can go wrong? And it was a huge, huge list. And I'll also intact care. And I also added what the Bible says about circumcision, because these people claim that they are doing it for religious reasons. There is no religious reason to circumcise your child, especially because the Bible specifically says not to do it. And I'm sorry, like, the verse about Abraham circumcising his sons, that applied to Abraham and his sons and their sons. It had nothing to do with the entire world. And even the Bible says there is no value in circumcision. It says that. Romans 3:1. And I just looked this up yesterday. That's why I remember. And it's like, why? Why do you choose to not accept the truth? That's what I really don't understand. Hello, Reaper Slayer. How are you? And so there is no religious reason. It's a cultural reason. And I wish that people would just be upfront and say, yes, I'm doing this for personal reasons. Don't say you're doing it because of religion, because that's wrong. That's not true. That is incorrect. You're not doing it for sanitary reasons. That's a joke. That is sadly laughable, because if you do not cut your child's penis, there's nothing to do. All you do is wipe them. That's it. They grow up, they become boys. You don't manipulate their penis in any way. Don't retract their foreskin. Like, even nurses are teaching that today. Like, oh, well, if they're not circumcised, then you have to retract it and clean under it. No, you don't. It's fused to the head of the penis. If you don't get that, fucking look it up. It is fused to the head of the penis. It acts as a sphincter that lets urine out and does not let anything else come in. And I also listed every single thing to look out for with intact care, because you can get these things called Smegma Pearls, which looks like kind of a white lump underneath the skin. Yeah, it's gross, but you know how many other gross things your baby's gonna do? It's gonna puke on you, it's gonna shit on you, it's gonna piss on you. So, hello, American Phoenix. Thank you for stopping by. Sweet dreams. So, that is just a normal thing that does not require any medical attention. It is something that happens and it goes away, period. And people might freak out about it and be like, oh no, there's something wrong with my baby. No, it's fine. This is normal. All you have to do is look it up. yourwholebaby.org. Every single thing that you need to know about intact care is on that website. And when it comes to circumcised babies, you have to go above and beyond to take care of a wound that you have put on your child's penis. And the mother I was talking to, she did her research about the placenta, about how a lot of the baby's blood is still in the cord or whatever, and so they shouldn't cut it off right away. So if you're concerned about that, why aren't you concerned about his penis? Why are you subjecting him to cosmetic surgery? You are giving your baby plastic surgery. Why do you want to give your baby plastic surgery? Why do you want to give a boy plastic surgery instead of a girl? If you had a daughter, why wouldn't you do the same thing to her? Because it's illegal? Well, why is doing it to a boy legal? Please tell me. Because more than 80% of the world is not circumcised. I'm keeping my composure right now, but thinking about this happening to babies all over America, I wish I wasn't born in America. I just keep thinking, what is wrong with people? Why? Why do they want to harm their baby? What, like I told my mom earlier, I was like, you might as well molest them. It's worse than molesting them. And there is scientific proof that being circumcised alters your brain, like your brain. It alters your brain, and it makes it, most of the time, babies who are circumcised cannot latch onto breastfeeding as easily. They're suffering. They are literally suffering because you took a part of their penis away that has 90% of their sensitivity. I shared a video on my Facebook page, Modern Medusa, earlier today. Go like it. Of a man from, I think he's in a band. I can't remember, but he was doing stand-up. And he started talking about how he learned from his British manager that if you get circumcised, 90% of the sensitivity goes away. And the guy, the comedian, he was like, no, that's no way. That's impossible. And the guy was like, well, where do you feel the most sensitivity on your penis? Right underneath the head, right? And he thought about it and he was like, yeah, actually, you're right. That is pretty much the only place that has, you know, good sensitivity. And people were laughing at him. And I know it's a stand-up thing, but why are you laughing at the fact that he's suffering? Like, I thought that was really inappropriate. And he didn't really start telling it in a funny way until the end. And I think that might have been because he saw people laughing. Who knows? But this was his way of telling about it and telling people that, you know, what he's gone through and how he realized that he barely has any sensitivity because he was circumcised. And he met up with some more British people, and he asked them, he was like, so, you know, where do you have sensitivity on your penis? And they were like, well, the entire head and, you know, everything. So if you didn't know, the foreskin covers the head or the glands that actually keeps it protected so that it retains sensitivity. When you are circumcised, your head is exposed to everything until it grows a callus. And this has nothing to do, I am not saying that it is bad if you are circumcised. I don't know why people get that from me. I've had circumcised partners. I have nothing. I used to think that circumcision was a good thing because I was, you know, just told by that's the normal thing. It's not. And it's not for 80% of the freaking world. And only 58% of people in America do it anymore. Thank God it's going down. And it was all popularized by motherfucking Dr. Kellogg. And if you don't fucking know this, you need to look it up. Like, we have a responsibility to teach people about this. And this is what this is the one thing that I am the most passionate about. And I feel like a failure for not being able to save this baby. What if he dies? Like 100 babies die a year from circumcision. Did you know that? 100 babies for no reason because you're getting plastic surgery on your baby without his consent. What happened to consent? Why do you not care that this baby might want his penis? Why do you not give a shit about a boy, but you would protect a girl at any cost? I don't understand why society is like this. And I know, like, we live in a society, it's a total meme, but like, seriously, what is wrong with people? What is wrong with you? If you circumcised your child, why? There is no sanitary reason. There is no religious reason. It's proven wrong. Every doctor around the fucking world says it's not necessary. Why are you doing it then? Just say you're being selfish. Just say you're doing it for personal reasons. Stop using that as an excuse. You think that a wound constantly being exposed to feces and urine is sanitary? Just think about that for a second. Really think about that. You think instead of not causing him pain and a open wound on his penis and just letting him live and grow up normally, no, that's not okay. You have to expose him to infection. You have to expose him to possibly getting diseases from the fucking doctors who don't clean their fucking tools. He could get a disease. He could get infections. He could get an infection to the point where it has gangrene. The warnings And most people don't even know this. They have a baby, they have it circumcised, and they don't even think, oh, maybe something bad could happen. Fucking look it up. You're reading these baby books religiously and acting like it's, you're acting like you're smart. And then you don't even fucking look up anything about a major surgery. It's not minor. It's a major fucking surgery. You think any genital surgery is minor? You're stupid. Like, that's just not how it works. Genitals are extremely complex and sensitive, and so many things can go wrong. Why wouldn't you let the baby fully develop? Why? What is wrong with leaving the baby alone? Leave the baby the fuck alone. Just don't touch him. Why do you want to touch his penis and have to put anti-infectant shit on his penis every single time that you change his diaper, and wrap it in gauze so that it's not exposed to poop and pee? You really think, oh, I slit my wrist, I'm just going to shove it into a sewer? You think I'm not going to fucking get some kind of infection? Seriously. It's that bad. The list of complications that could go wrong. Your baby could just never stop bleeding. Just continuously bleed out of his penis until he dies. There are people who were told some bleeding is fine, and their baby died. There are people who were told everything's going to be fine, everything is sanitary, and their baby contracted herpes and died. There are people who have rabbis come into their house and suck the blood off of the baby's penis. Yes, that's real. And they contract diseases and die. What is worth it? Give me a reason why it's worth it. The baby's penis could turn black or blue. Not to mention, even if everything goes right, the head of his penis, you wonder why they're not going to breastfeed. The head of his penis is constantly rubbing against the gauze or the diaper until it gets a callus. You realize that? You know what a callus is? Okay, imagine. This is exactly the same thing. I don't fucking care what anyone says. Female genital mutilation and male genital mutilation are the same. I don't give a fuck what your opinion is. They are the same, period. That is a fact. They are physically different. The reasons and the effects are basically the same. It depends on the female genital mutilation. But when they remove the head of the clitoris, or not the head, when they remove the hood of the clitoris, which is a foreskin. Wow, women have foreskin? Yeah, they have smegma too. Look it up. It's not that hard. When they cut off the foreskin of the woman, the clitoris is constantly exposed until it is calloused over and has no sensitivity. That is the same thing. Do you think I want to go around having my clit rubbing against everything? That would be horrible. There is a man, and it's really sad. You can look this up. Just look up, my son killed himself after circumcision. A man was pressured by his girlfriend to be circumcised. Fuck that woman. Fuck any woman who tells you that there's something wrong with you. Get the fuck out of that relationship. Leave. Immediately. Don't even explain. No, actually do explain. Tell her, you don't fucking tell, I don't tell you to get a fucking breast implant. I don't fucking tell you to fucking cut your clit off? Why the fuck would I cut my foreskin off for you? Something that I've lived with, that he's lived with for his entire life. He got it. And this, it wasn't just pressure, peer pressure. It was also his doctor. And I have another thing. I'll talk about doctors in a little bit. His doctor told him, because his foreskin felt a little tight and sometimes it got uncomfortable, instead of recommending him steroid creams, stretching exercises that can easily, with a little work, fix that problem completely. It's called phimosis. And there's 2 different kinds of phimosis. You can look it up. Your whole baby has all this information. If your foreskin is too tight, you don't need to be circumcised. All you need to do is stretch out the skin, and steroid creams can help that. I promise. He was told by his doctor that he needed to be circumcised. He didn't. Not to mention, you don't have an erection when you have surgery. How do they know how much skin it takes? They don't. There is a info card that I have kept that shows, like, okay, like, here's a normal penis. About that much of skin is taken with a normal circumcision. Why would you want that? Nobody wants that. He didn't know that the doctor was going to take that much. And what happened was the head of his penis, which had been covered and protected his entire life, now it was fully exposed all the time, constantly rubbing against his clothes. He didn't know what to do. He was in so much pain that he killed himself. I cannot imagine doing that to someone. I know multiple people who have so much trouble even having an orgasm because it's so painful for them. Even if they were circumcised at birth, they might not have enough skin to even accommodate their full erection. Like, that, I know this sounds silly, but think about that. Think about having an erection and your skin is just pulling and tearing every time. I don't understand. Why is this okay? Why is this a thing? I fucking curse Dr. Kellogg. He invented this shit, or popularized this shit in America to stop masturbation. Well, fucking newsflash, everybody knows that masturbation isn't a bad thing anymore. So why are you doing it? Why are you doing it to your child? It's not sanitary. It's not religious. Even if it was religious, why are you listening to that? Do you put lamb's blood above your fucking door every night and also, like, sacrifice goats to God? That's what they used to do in the Old Testament. Do you not realize that Jesus died on the cross for our sins and that fucking destroyed any need for sacrifices of any kind, including circumcision? It's not religious. And if you're Jewish and you don't believe that Jesus saved everybody from having to give sacrifices, what's your reason? Because Abraham's family was told to do it? Are you a descendant of Abraham? I don't think you can really track that. I'm sorry. And so going back to the horrible things that can happen if you get your baby circumcised. I mentioned gangrene. It can be botched horribly. Your baby could have his partially or he could have his penis partially or fully removed. You don't know this doctor. He doesn't know your son's penis. He does this all the time, and he takes away the same amount of skin. What makes you think? Do you think that every penis is the same? I'm sure that anybody with multiple partners knows, or that's had multiple partners or seen porn ever, knows that that's not the case. Every penis is different. And you really think that they're going to that taking the same amount of skin is going to affect everybody differently? Or affect everybody the same, excuse me? It's going to affect everybody differently because every penis is different. Do you not understand that? So, this is something I've really been struggling with. I can't just turn off my compassion for children. I can't turn off my compassion for justice and men's rights. I can't just sit there and pretend it's not happening. And it's not even like there are people who really struggle, and I see it every day on Your Whole Baby, on the Facebook group, and Bloodstained Men. Women have to try so hard to ignore the horrible things that their mother-in-law says. It's almost never the father-in-law. It's always the mother-in-law. Because, I'm sorry, but mother-in-laws can be fucking control freaks. And even if she ends up convincing her husband, no, we are not circumcising our child. And it's not even his choice, okay? It should be, if it comes, and like, I'm not saying that women are always natural mothers or anything like that, because a lot of them are not. But if it comes from my body and I don't want you to cut off a piece of it, I'm sorry, but that's the final, that's final. You cannot alter my baby. Don't even think about it. And there are even cases where mother and father-in-laws have babysat the child when it had it circumcised without their consent. That should be fucking illegal. Why isn't that fucking illegal? I've seen so many women crying, so besides themselves. Like, what do I do? My mother-in-law says that they're not going to give us inheritance if we don't circumcise our child. They say they're not going to want to see the child if we don't circumcise our baby. What is wrong with you? Like, for the fact that you have no reason, nothing to back this up, just makes you look like a horrible person. It makes you look like, it makes these people look, the mother-in-laws, it makes them look pedophilic. I'm sorry, but it does. It's like, why the fuck are you so concerned about my son's penis that you want to cut part of it off? Why do you want to give my son cosmetic surgery? Are you going to give him a facelift too? You're going to crop his ears, remove his fingernails? Because that's the same thing. Rip off all of his fingernails and see if he's traumatized or not. So, I pretty much said all the information that I put in this packet. I didn't go too much into the intact stuff because it's so easy. It's so easy. Just wipe the fucking baby and you're done. Don't use soap. Like, just dip it in water. That's it. That's all you need to do. And absolutely don't fucking use soap with circumcised babies because it will hurt. They will cry. So, I'm so worried. I'm so worried for these children. And I was crying thinking about all the babies in the world that have died or have had horrible things happen to them. Their entire penis removed. Can you imagine growing up and knowing that your parents did that to you? And I mean, of course, it's the doctor's fault, but your parents consented. Your parents didn't do the research. And it's just so depressing. It's so depressing. And I had to keep praying and trying to think about something else because it just hurts my heart. I can't. If I ever saw someone doing that in front of me, I'd fucking grab the scalpel out of their hand and fucking threaten them. Like, do you want part of your penis cut off? Oh, you're already circumcised? Well, let me take a little more. How do you know it was enough? So, I know I probably got a little heated and emotional during some of this, but this is one of the things. I can't, like, I'm just as passionate about protecting little girls. Why would you want to do that to a little girl? It is for horrible, disgusting reasons. Like, that's oppression, and men are being oppressed by this. Why is this not illegal? It's so fucked up. Hello, Bullet Shepherd. I used to not care about the issue, but I've seen it's more important than it seems. Absolutely. And that's the thing. If you want to be circumcised as an adult, that is totally up to you. You can pierce your penis. You can put implants in it. There's all kinds of cosmetic surgeries you can do to your penis. But I have to warn you, every single man that I've met who got circumcised as an adult regrets it. They wish that they hadn't done it because they were pressured by a woman or society or whatever. Are we talking about circumcising boys? Yes. And I think it's extremely, what's the word? It's horrendous that boys aren't given the choice to consent. It's horrible. Your ex said she wouldn't date you unless you were. Yeah, they deserve to get their vaginas mutilated. Any woman who says that, I hope that their foreskin is removed and then they can see what it's like. And of course, if you don't know the difference and you don't have any pain, that is wonderful. I am so happy for you. You are so lucky because there are millions of men who wake up every day with painful erections, with erectile dysfunction. Erectile dysfunction is the most common side effect of being circumcised. Why would you want to do that to your son? Why don't you want him to have the chance to have a whole penis? And again, I support everybody. If you are circumcised, I support you. I am so glad that you can live and be happy and have no pain and have no problems. But please, please don't do it to your child. Just leave him alone. It's not necessary. And you don't want your child to die or have horrible complications because of this one cosmetic surgery. You, trust me, you really don't. Imagine going to a doctor and having your baby die for something completely unnecessary. it annoyed me when my wife was basically like, yeah, I'd be okay if you weren't circumcised, but I'd use it less. See, nothing against your wife, but women are so selfish when it comes to sex. They think that, well, I'm here, that's enough. I don't need, they control sex. They, they know that if they say no, there's nothing you can do about it. And it's like, well, okay, the thing that I said earlier, why is it okay for you to say that, but it's not okay for me to say, okay, well, get your labia chopped off. It's really gross looking. I don't want to use your vagina because it looks gross. You know how infantile that is? Grow the fuck up. I'm not saying this specifically about your wife or anything. Women, in general, grow the fuck up. Watch more porn. Like, it's your fault for not being used to it. It really is. And if you were born in a different country, you would be used to it. So what's your excuse? My friend just got their son done. Looks so raw and painful for the boy, and so tight and angry after. Yeah. I honestly can't even imagine taking care of a baby that had that done, because it's just imagining what could go wrong. It's terrifying. Even if they got through the initial healing process, you never know what's going to go wrong. If they get their first erection and it hurts, and you don't tell them about that, they're going to think something's wrong with them and never tell anybody in their entire life. And that happens to millions of men. They're just like, well, I don't really enjoy sex because it's so painful, but I guess this is normal. I guess this is how everybody is. No, you deserve better. And if your skin is too tight on your penis when you have an erection, please look into foreskin restoration. Sorry, I was trying to think of the word. Because there are things that you can do to slowly stretch your skin so that it's not so painful. And I really wish that people understood this. I really wish that American doctors, and here, I'll go on my rant about American doctors. I understand, no offense at all. She's fine. It's just a thing she doesn't understand due to lack of research. And that is the main reason that people do it, lack of research. And because so-and-so did it, because my partner did it, and then they basically lie and say that it's for religious or sanitary reasons. You're wrong. It's not for those reasons. It's a cultural, personal reason that you're giving your baby cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery. So speaking of doctors, if you don't know this, doctors make money off of foreskins, and this is why they push it. And sure, sounds like a conspiracy theory, but what do you think? Where do you think that these celebrities are getting their foreskin facials from? It's not aborted fetuses. There's plenty of stem cells in those, but no, we need the stem cells specifically from the foreskins of babies. Doctors profit off of circumcising your child. And that is why they push it. All right, bye-bye, Reaper's Lair. Thank you for stopping by and listening to me rant. So, I mean, it's disgusting. If you know that and understand that, what on earth would make you want to give, like, literally, if you kept your son's penis, you could sell it for thousands of dollars. And it's horrible. It really is. You're giving control to the doctors. And it's just thinking about that, to me, it's like, if nothing else, why are you okay with this doctor pushing this when it's completely unnecessary? The reason is because they profit off of it. You can look it up. I'm not just making this up. I wouldn't say this if it wasn't true. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I mean, some of them I entertain. But I mean, I don't believe in conspiracy theories when it comes to this. I thought when I was 16 years old, I made a fool out of myself. Because I was like, oh, well, yeah, these people say that it's cleaner. It's not. Hello, Twisted Smile. Yeah, I know. But apparently, YouTube wants to only let people know when I'm like 40 minutes into streaming. So I'm glad this was a longer one. So, alright, I think that concludes my rant for now. And I actually really do want to do a video on Dr. Kellogg as well, because not only did he popularize circumcision with his cereal, yes, that's the same Kellogg. I don't think I'm ever gonna buy a Kellogg fucking cereal again. But, he not only pushed his cereal. Oh yeah, and the guy who invented graham crackers, same thing. He invented graham crackers to stop masturbation. Because he thought that flavorful foods would cause desire and therefore cause them to masturbate. This is what him and Dr. Kellogg believed. Does that not sound fucking retarded? Why are you listening to like almost 100 years ago? You still think that this is relevant? It wasn't relevant back then. Like, what, you think that, like what other experimental shit are you going to buy into just because other people do? It's so ignorant. I don't get it. So not only did he create Kellogg's cereal to prevent masturbation, he did all kinds of weird shit to stop women from having desires, from anyone having desires. He was I think he was a Seventh-day Adventist. Either that or a Mormon. And he was in a really strict religious sect, and this is why. He thought, like, I'm sorry, you don't want your child to masturbate. Is that why you're circumcising him? Then what the fuck is the reason? I don't understand. Like, if you have such a problem with your child having any kind of sexual urges, you just shouldn't have a child. Like, you don't want them to be a normal, healthy human being? You, as an adult, have sexual desire. What the fuck is wrong with you to want to prevent your child from growing up normally? I don't understand it. So, yeah, fuck Dr. Kellogg, fuck American doctors, fuck any doctor or person who pushes circumcision. There's a woman on Facebook. I don't fucking understand how Facebook is allowing this disgusting woman to have a following. It's really fucking gross. She is not a doctor, and she herself circumcised her 3 sons. Is that not the most disgusting fucking thing you've ever heard? Like, rabbis aren't doctors either, I'm sorry. Like, you think, you really think that sucking on a baby's penis is something a doctor would do? Huh? What the fuck is the point? Really, what is the point? Other than causing pain and suffering? Alright, so I need to go paint murals. And I also need to go to the bathroom. So, sorry TMI, but I've been sipping my bone broth. Oh, it's wonderful. It's a little spicy. It's great. Great rant. Thank you. I don't really talk about this too often because I don't know where to start. It's so depressing and frustrating. Obviously it makes me mad because of the ignorance going on. It's like, to me, being in support of circumcision is just as bad, like, just as bad as fucking discriminating against anybody and causing them pain or something. Like, oh, these people, we need to just chop off their hands. I mean, there's not really a reason. Well, God told me to, you know? So we're just gonna cut off their hands. They'll be fine, you know? It's for cleanliness. Why? And I don't believe in piercing babies' ears either. I don't think that doing any kind of bodily alteration, unless medically necessary, and I'm sorry, but circumcision is never medically necessary. Just give your sons the chance to choose for themselves. If you let them grow up and you ask them, do you want part of your penis removed? Who do you think is going to say yes? No one. Absolutely no one. It's a good topic to be educated on, especially if you have kids. Absolutely. Thank you guys for listening to me. It really makes me feel better. Even if I can't save this one baby. Maybe one day I can make a difference in someone's life. I hope. I'm sorry. I'm so passionate about protecting our sons. They deserve to be like everyone else around the world. They really do. And if you just teach them proper hygiene, that's all they need. That's really all they need, I promise. You don't need to give them plastic surgery. Just saying plastic surgery for a baby blows my fucking mind. I don't get it.